Today is mother's funeral. An NHIE engraved and held the ashes in his hand. She doesn't know that I will also die on this day. An auntie with a strange face suddenly rushed in. Threats to an NHIE startled, seeing the tombstone has yet to be delivered. The father temporarily left to buy flowers. Only an NHIE remained in the cemetery, and the guests who attended the funeral had no expressions. At this point, the crane truck in charge of transporting the tombstone has arrived. The music on the car has a strange melody. Immediately attracted an NHIE's attention. The driver was burned by not carefully dropping cigarette ash. He let go of a lever. Gravestone heavily on an NHIE. An NHIE is dead in the afternoon 4 hours 45 minutes, according to the father's tragic cry. An NHIE woke up in the car. It turns out everything just happened. Just a dream for her. An NHIE took his mother's ashes to the cemetery. Then she found it surprisingly. These strange visitors, just like she had seen in her dream. Also touching them strange ants. The tombstone has not been brought yet. The father also goes to buy flowers. At this time, the crane came. An NHIE felt more and more insecure. Throw the umbrella down and run to find his father. The owner of the flower shop looked at her, say a sentence that surprised everyone. Need to buy a bunch for your daughter? The father was immediately angry. Are you not expecting my daughter to die? The boss replied. Everyone must die. Thinking through then nothing. The father is angry. There was a dispute with the boss. An NHIE could only watch this chaotic scene. Suddenly a familiar sound entered the ears. This time it came out from the mobile phone has broken screen. The chaos quickly spread to an NHIE. The owner of the handle was carelessly stabbed into his chest. An NHIE died again, dead at 4:45 p.m. According to the pitiful cry of the father, an NHIE woke up from the car once again. She has died in the dream twice. Said maybe it will happen the third time. An NHIE was scared to go home, but the father naturally did not believe an NHIE. Scolded her should not be just because of a nightmare that was absent from the mother's funeral. An NHIE has no other way, just have to listen to the father. This time she actively suggested to go buy flowers with her father, and instructed over and over. Tell my father not to have a dispute with the owner of the flower shop, but this time the process of buying flowers has changed. Unexpectedly the father said he bought 2 bouquets of flowers. An NHIE looked at the two of them in panic, back to back. Because the towel on the shelf fell, accidentally clogging the pressure cooker, caused the pressure cooker to explode. The pot lid flies towards an NHIE. Luckily she dodged it in time, avoid a lifetime. But when running out of the flower shop, she ran into a strange ant again. Then the father ran out. And out of control an NHIE yelled at him. The father suddenly rushed in. Took an NHIE out of the water hole she was about to step into. It turned out that the broken wire fell into the water hole. The father was saving her. But she couldn't breathe. The familiar sad music resounded. 4:45 a.m. coming. The owner of the flower shop suddenly appeared behind her, grabbing her hair and talking to her father. What to waste money and time? I also know. No sense at all. An NHIE cried and pleaded with his father to save him. Unexpectedly the father gave up. Ignoring the boss stabbed his daughter to death. After an NHIE woke up for the third time, staring at dead. Like looking at a stranger. Ask him if he must know something. Who are those strangers? Why join the mother's funeral? The father just watched her talking, to prove that what she said was the truth. An NHIE told him before what will happen next. But this time, the tombstone again arrived on time. An NHIE closed his eyes, tensions waiting for death to come. Unexpectedly the tombstone put down safely, but another terrifying thing happened. This is not mother's tombstone, it's yours. An NHIE was extremely angry. She stood and watched bewildered. The commitment to voluntarily give up treatment on the ground, turn around and leave. The red ribbon overhead flew into the air following the wind. She ran to the car. Want to multiply before 4 hours 45 minutes. Leave this place. When she saw the wiper swinging, immediately dumbfounded. She remembers in the previous 3 dreams, on the glass of her father, seeing something swinging back and forth. The first time was swinging. The second time is the needle of the metronome. The third time the broken wire swayed under the water hole. They all share common characteristics, like swinging wipers. An NHIE finally remembered everything. It was a rainy day like that. The mother is a car driver, wiped the fog on the windshield. Not paying attention to the front, there is an ant and N crossing the street. In a panic, quickly swing the steering wheel. Hit a crane truck. The mother died on the spot. The hanger of the cross in the car stepped deeply into an NHIE's chest. She was carried on a stretcher by lifeguards. red ribbons overhead fluttering in the wind. Before consciousness sinks into darkness, she saw the clock in the lifeguard's hand. 4 hours 45 minutes. It turns out that all is just an illusion, while she was about to die. The strange tune she heard before she died, it was actually the music she heard in her mother's car. The staff at the cemetery, actually, it was a lifeguard, Andy, that she ran into several times, as a passerby that her mother avoided. The strangers. It was the crowd standing at the scene of the car accident. The crane transports the tombstone. It is the crane that my mother ran into. The flower shop is white and blue. Actually, the ambulance is the same color. The owner of the flower shop insisted on taking her life. Being the treating doctor advised the father to give up therapy. Seeing dad about to sign commitment to voluntarily give up therapy, an NHIEN rushed to beg him, "Don't give up on me." But in the end the father also obeyed the doctor's advice. Unexpectedly, just turned off the medical device. Then an NHIEN woke up, seeing his daughter come back to life. The father is both agitated and regretful. He just gave up his daughter's life with his own hands. Fortunately, an NHIEN woke up in time, otherwise he will regret it for life. The nightmare was finally over. An NHIEN felt relieved. But when she saw the wall clock, there was a bad feeling. 4 hours 45 minutes has come again. The nightmare is really over already. The movie has no final answer. This is the typical form of brain-twisting film about the infinite loop. Respond to the end of the riddle revelation. Since the first act, a clue has been given. Things left clues and faint signs. Infinite space. Perform infinite plot reversals. It is a rare Chinese masterpiece.